All right. Hey, good morning, people. Happy Monday to you. Welcome to the Claremont and C+O webinar kickoff. Thanks for everybody for joining. I'm Mark Reshapo with Claremont Insurance Services, and I'm joined by Renee McLemore, who's behind the scenes, our VP of Marketing, who is likely who you got your invite from, but she's here behind the scenes, going to be monitoring things. We are recording everything, so for those looking for this information, there will be a link that will come out following this if you miss anything or have follow-up information you want to get from it. We're here today to introduce Cigna plus Oscar, and I've got their team available. I'll let them do their intros, but we're really excited to be partnering with them. They're not only a new carrier and partner for Claremont, but also a new carrier in the marketplace and bring something unique and different than the traditional offerings that are currently in the market. So I think something that will be really interesting and a chance to differentiate yourselves in the marketplace and have a door opener with some prospects and clients that maybe you haven't had for a while. We are, as I said, recording everything. There'll be a link to come. There won't be any slides after this. Everyone is currently on mute as you enter. If you have questions, there is a question box to the right in your control panel, so feel free to post questions as we go. We will probably get to a lot of those questions throughout the presentation and save some time for the end to get to as many questions as possible. Any that we don't get to, we will address in follow-up conversations or releases in that regard. So again, welcome everybody, and I'm going to hand it off to Michael Lujan from Cigna plus Oscar to introduce his team and run through our rollout.
Thanks, Mark. Appreciate having your attention and your support putting this together. On behalf of the Cigna plus Oscar sales team, we want to thank you for joining the webinar. I'll take a quick moment before we get into introductions to say this is a partnership with Cigna and Oscar, and we'll go through and explain exactly what this is. But I just wanted to say off the top how excited we are to introduce a new product in the small group market specifically for the Bay Area. That's what this webinar is going to be about. We'll roll into as much information as we can share, and we'll also take good notes of things that we can follow up with. That's me on the right, Michael Lujan. Good to see or know that there's a bunch of old friends that haven't worked with in a while. You might have worked with me in the past when I worked for another carrier. Or at Covered California, but it's been a while since I've worked in the Bay Area, so personally I'm excited to reconnect with old friends, and some of you I think are on here now. Mark, you might have mentioned you want folks, since everyone's on mute, you can chat with us through the questions or the chat box, so open up the menu if you want to ask questions or just say hello. You can do that by typing it in the question field. So just let us know you're there if you want to test that out now. That'd be great. So that's me on the right, Michael Lujan. From left to right is Thomas Earl and Kaylin Kelson. I'll let them introduce themselves. Thomas, you want to share a little bit?
Yeah, thanks, Michael. Hey, everyone. Really excited to bring this new product to you here in the Bay Area. So I am the sales executive for San Francisco County, East Bay, so Contra Costa County, and Alameda. We'll talk a little bit about more of those counties as we go through the presentation. Formerly, I was with Cigna selling large group and small group medical products here in the Bay Area as well. So I'm really excited to be working with Oscar now alongside Cigna as we bring this new product to the market. So really excited. Kaylin, you want to go ahead?
Hi, everyone. Some familiar names. It's really lovely to be working with you all again. I am Kaylin Kelson. I'm your senior sales executive, and I will be working with you all in the San Mateo and Santa Clara counties. So formerly, I was at League working in health technology, and some of you may recognize me from the old carrier that I used to work with. So it's really awesome to be partnering with Cigna plus Oscar and working with you all again in the small group space. Over to you.
Awesome. So I think I'm going to follow along and look at the questions. If you have questions to ask, we'll try to answer those along the way. If we miss anything, we'll make sure to save some time at the end for Q&A. So with that, this is the intro slide that says it all. So small businesses deserve better. You're going to hear that as a theme. You know, I think in the Bay Area, we've got some uniqueness to our market. we'll talk about how this new partnership serves the unique Bay Area market for small group. And again, this is a partnership that's coming to the Bay Area, specifically in the Bay Area for Q4. To clarify, since we're already almost midway into August, that's hard to believe, and many of you have already working your 10-1 and 11-1 business, the focus here will be primarily for 12-1 effective dates. So we're technically coming to market new for Q4, but really the focus is to aim for the 12-1 effective dates. And Thomas and Kaylin will both share a little more details about what to expect and when it'll be in market. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Thomas. He'll lead the presentation from here.
Thanks, Michael. Appreciate that. And as you can see before, as I mentioned before, I'm San Francisco and East Bay. So for those of you located within those counties, you'll be working alongside Mark's team and myself with the Cigna Plus Oscar product. So Michael, you can go ahead to the next slide. All right. So as Michael had said, this is two insurance companies coming together to create a product. And so we should talk about the two companies that are coming together. So a little bit about Cigna first. Many of you have probably worked with Cigna, obviously know Cigna, very large insurance carrier from the medical as well as ancillary side. Very large domestic presence, as well as actually a very, very strong global presence as well. Domestically, typically the top 2-3 insurance carrier across the US. Extremely large network, medical side as well as pharmacy side, especially since the acquisition of Express Scripts. They're now PBM about 2 years back. So really strong pillar of a financial or of an insurance institution, over 225 years in the insurance industry. So very strong, really strong financials, being ranked top 20 in the Fortune 500 list. I myself formerly, as I'd said before, worked for Cigna. It's a very good, positive insurance company, really great reputation. But as many of you can probably attest, not just here in Northern California, but across the United States, they haven't really been a main player in the small group market. They really mainly primarily focused on large group in the enterprise business. And this is something that Cigna has always been interested into, looking into the small group market as they have expanded their product portfolio. So keep that in mind as we go forward. Michael, you can go to the next slide, please. The next company is Oscar. So this is a company you might not have heard too much about. We were founded in 2012. We are in 3 product lines. So we're in the IFP, the MA, and also the small group world. Primarily, we're in 26 markets across 15 states. We are a nationwide company. We started out as a startup company in 2012, and now we are an enterprise insurance carrier now with over 425,000 members. Seeing tremendous growth on a 2x year over year. We had about 90,000 members it was in 2017, and now we're expanding it over 425,000. So extreme growth for us. Really great backing from other financial investment firms and institutions such as Alphabet, who has near $500 million in funding in us, as well as a few others such as Charles Schwab, Fidelity Investments. And we actually just recently, a little over a month ago, concluded another funding round where we were able to obtain some more local support from the Bay Area, such as General Catalyst. So really great to have some more local support here as well into our funding. We are operating on about a little over a $2 billion revenue. So all around a really great, great positive outlook here for us in the years since our founding. So you can go ahead, Michael. Here we'll talk about our agenda. Today, I'm going to walk you through the value that your members and your clients will be experiencing. And then Kaylin's going to talk to you about the plans and the network options that we have offering with Cigna Plus Oscar. And then, of course, the tools that we have to making it easy for you, not just to sell Cigna Plus Oscar, but to continue to maintain your book of business. Michael, you can go on. So now that we've talked about the two insurance companies, as Michael had stated before, these are two separate insurance companies coming together for one product. So how are we coming together with Cigna to create this product? Well, first, it's quite simple. Cigna is bringing their legacy. They're bringing their name. There's a reason it's Cigna Plus Oscar, and Cigna's first on this list in the name. Cigna's bringing that legacy. So with that comes their financials. So Cigna's bringing their strong financial rating, their AM Best rating. They're also bringing their underwriting expertise. So they're bringing that legacy underwriting ability. This is all written on Cigna licensed paper and Cigna contracts. And then on top of that, Cigna's also bringing their extremely accessible networks. So they're bringing the Open Access Plus and the Local Plus. So quite simply, they're bringing their financials, they're bringing their license, and they're bringing the networks. Everything else is coming through Oscar. So the digital and human experience is coming through Oscar. So this means the claims adjudication, sales, customer service, everything on the back end and front end is coming through to the Oscar platform, both from the human experience and the digital experience. Thank you, Michael. You can go to the next slide. So small business is different here. I myself am a Giants fan. Michael, unfortunately, is a Dodgers fan. Kalen is a Giants fan too. So we do like to support the local nuances of the Bay Area here. So this is our play at that. Great series we had over the past weekend. But so small business is different here. We know that. And that's not just the Bay Area, but that's here San Francisco, that's Santa Clara, that's San Mateo, and into East Bay. There are a lot of nuances here, and especially as we go into the Q4 and the world that we're in now, and our clients expect more, you expect more, and that's really the question that they're asking you. Michael, you can go to the next slide, that they're asking you on a daily basis is, I have these pain points here, my network's getting too narrow, my benefits are leaning out, I need virtual access for each and every one of my members these days as we're into the world that we are in, and it's just quite simply too hard to utilize both from a member standpoint and a client standpoint to use this product that I pay so much for. It's too complicated and too hard to utilize. And so there's just a lot of issues that we experience, that we hear from our members and our clients that are experiencing on a day-to-day. And we know that you hear them 100 times more than we do. And then at the end of the day, they still look to you and they say, broker, what else can you offer me this year? What else can you provide to me that's going to add value to my employees, that's going to keep me afloat, that's going to retain my talent? What else can you offer me this year that you haven't been able to offer me in the past? Michael, you can go to the next slide. And that's why we're so excited as we head into Q4 this year to now offer you that solution. You now have something else to offer to your clients and your members as we head into Q4, especially during the time that we're in now. So with Cigna plus Oscar, you're getting the two very accessible, strong networks through the Open Access Plus and the Local Plus network, free and unlimited telehealth medicine, so virtual urgent care, which I'll talk about here shortly. And each and every member gets a true concierge white glove experience through our care guide teams. And then as well, the same similar experience for your clients. And then ultimately still packaging all this together and still being able to offer and pass along premium savings to your clients compared to the local benchmark HMO and PPOs. Michael, you can go to the next slide here. So let's talk about the value, the virtual urgent care and those concierge white glove experience that I was discussing. Michael, you can go to the next one. Michael, I just want to stop and check. It doesn't look like we have any questions. Am I correct? Looks like we're good and okay. All right.
Yeah, that's correct. And actually, it may be a good opportunity to have folks test it, even if it's just to say hello. On the right side, you have a menu, and if you just click on that little orange tag that sticks out, you could just type in questions if you just want to say hello, or I don't know, might be nice. I don't know if it's questions or chat, but you can type in your questions in there or just say hi if you want to test. Okay, got a few folks saying hello.
Perfect.
All right, but yeah, I'll monitor this. Just keep going, and we'll answer questions as we go.
Great, thanks, Michael. So I want to talk about the concierge experience. So this is our customer service. This is our care guide team. So each and every Cigna plus Oscar member receives 4 dedicated care guides that make up most of their care team. So every time they have a question, whether they're logging in through their application, whether they're utilizing their online portal on their computer, they have their 4 care guides dedicated to them. They have their familiar faces, they have their names. They're right there for them to communicate with them and help them in any facet that they can. Anything from understanding their benefits, helping them schedule an appointment at an in-network physician, for helping them prepare pre-op or post-op, or really just overall utilizing the health benefits package that they have accessible to them. So these dedicated care guides are there for them. They're a comfortable experience. It's a familiar experience for each and every one of our members. They don't have to go in and call that rebranded 1-800 number, re-explain their medical health records to this individual, and now have to have an access to care. They're having this conversation, a continued conversation with their dedicated care team. On top of these 4 dedicated care guides, they also receive a dedicated care nurse. So this nurse is there for any escalation questions that they might have that might need a little bit more of a medical expertise eyes. So that dedicated care nurse rounds out their team of 5 that's there for them. So they always have the same faces, the same names, and they're reaching out to the same people that they're used to talking to when they have questions or concerns about their health. Michael, you can move on. There we go. Okay. And so this is where your care team lives. They do live in the application here. As you can see, their faces, their photos, and their names here, along with also being able to access your care team here. You can do others such as you can access our coaching programs. You can access our parent family programs, 24/7 crisis hotline, as well as also our Cigna behavioral health. So we understand that behavioral health is so important these days. And so being able to access the Cigna behavioral health network that we'll talk about here shortly, as well as also being able to access virtual mental health through our partnership with Talkspace. So trying to really meet our members where they are with access to their care, both from a medical standpoint, as well as pharmacy and behavioral as well. Michael, you can move on. You don't have to click this one. There we go. Thank you. So this is our virtual urgent care. So this is really exciting to offer every Cigna Plus Oscar member. Every Cigna Plus Oscar member always has free and unlimited access to virtual urgent care. They can do this via the phone, whether they want to click to chat their physician and add a photo, or whether they want to pick up the phone and have a conversation with their physician. These are board certified Oscar employed physicians. So what's great about that is that this is an internal holistic viewpoint from a medical health record of our members. So we're no longer having to allow a member to log in through our carrier application and then be routed to a different vendor application where there might be some restrictions and some firewalls of data. It's just great that our members are able to hop right into this application, pick up the phone or click to chat a physician, and they can have a holistic conversation with them, really getting them to the right answer and diagnosis as soon as possible in about as 15 minutes, which is great. On this saves them that copay, that urgent care copay, either virtual or in person. And now the only cost share that this member is experiencing is that prescription cost, in which they're now on their way to a pharmacy to go access our large pharmacy network covering nearly 100% of the United States. So really great to give them both the access to care through a virtual urgent care, as well as that access to a pharmacy to really have their symptoms diagnosed and solved here very shortly. So really great that we can offer this to each and every member with Cigna Plus Oscar, always free and always at an unlimited usage 24/7, which is really great. Michael, you can move on to the next slide, please. And now I want to round out the medical network here. So we are utilizing Express Scripts for our PBM and Accredo for our specialty program. These are all the same programs that are utilized with Cigna's large group network. So you'll kind of hear the theme as we go forward that this is a very large and accessible network that is very familiar in the large group network, in the large group space, but maybe not so much in the small group. So we're really excited to be able to offer the access that we can, both from large group to small group. Michael, can you go back one? Thank you. Along with the Express Scripts, we're also utilizing a high performance formulary. So this is a very large group formulary. This is a robust formulary, which is great to be able to offer to our small group clients rather than having a more restricted formulary. We are utilizing Quest and LabCorp for national labs, Liberty and Davis for pediatric dental and vision, and then CBH, the Cigna Behavioral Health Network, for our behavioral health network. What's great about all of these resources that these are built into our systems, as I mentioned before. Cigna is bringing the network, but Oscar is bringing that digital and human experience. So as a member, if you have a question about your labs, if you have a question about your behavioral health and you want to schedule a behavioral health appointment, you're realizing your care team and your care guides to access these care. You're not having to reach out to Cigna Behavioral Health for a behavioral health question. You're connected with your care guide because our systems are speaking, and that's what we're bringing to this partnership. And it's also great is that you can also still continue to schedule that appointment on your own if you decide to use our search function and schedule your own behavioral health network. Of course, that's allowed, but it's great to be able to have that point of contact there with your team that's connected together. Michael, you can go to the next one, please. And here I'm going to pass it off to my counterpart, Kaylin, who's going to talk a little bit about our network and our plan options of what we're offering with Cigna Plus Oscar.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Thomas. You could advance the slides there. Perfect. So we are offering an EPO plan design with 2 network options. First will be our Local Plus network that's illustrated here on the left-hand side, and that will be our more cost-effective plan design with carving out Sutter Palo Alto Medical Foundation. And then on the right-hand side is our most accessible large network, which is going to be the Open Access Plus network, and it will include Sutter Palo Alto Medical Foundation. But barring that we have a difference in networks here, there's still nothing narrow about these networks. These are the networks that are purchased by these large group employers that they get access to, and so we're really excited to be sharing this with the small group employers finally. Next slide. There we go, perfect. And so we're going to be offering EPO plan design. So this is a great opportunity to save our members costs by offering no out-of-network benefits. Since we have such a huge, great network, there's really no need to offer out-of-network and load the premiums with those out-of-network benefits. So we're doing away with that. The employees will have access to the benefits that they need through the large networks. And then also, they're not going to have to need to go through a gatekeeper. They're going to have time-saving and cost-saving opportunities through just going straight to the dermatologist, if you will, their specialist, no referrals needed. So really saving the members some money by offering an EPO plan design. I know it's different, but we're excited to be rolling it out. There's going to be 4 bronze, 4 silver, 4 gold, and 4 platinum plans with 2 HSAs sitting in the bronze level plan. And as Thomas had mentioned earlier in the conversation here, all plans include free and unlimited telemedicine 24/7, and they are Oscar doctors. So really, this is stacked up to be a really great opportunity for our small group employers to have access to better care. Next slide. And when you're doing your benefits, your side-by-side benefit comparisons, your rate analysis, something that's really important to include in that conversation is the human and digital support that you're getting and that value that you're getting with the Oscar solution. So the ability to message your care team, you have people who are there to support the members, the free and unlimited telemedicine, the ease of access to manage your prescription drugs, and then step tracking. You just simply link up your device with the Oscar application and you have $100 a year just for walking around. And so, this total value here, you're looking at about $600 per member per year in savings. So include that in the conversation with your broker or with your business administrators that it's not just about the plans and the rate decrements, it's also the value that we're also delivering. Next slide, please.
I just wanted to jump in here real quick too. We got a few questions, just letting everybody know that most of the questions are similarly grouped, and those will most likely be addressed in the second half of this presentation. If they're not, we'll follow up with those, but looks like they're kind of on the same theme. So just stay tight, and those will probably be answered. Thanks.
Thank you. And so what does this mean for you? We are going to be offering something new, something different, something that these large group employers, that all these small businesses had to compete for talent for in Q4. So really excited to be sharing this with you today. Next slide. Great. And so we mentioned how we're making it easy for our members. We really are excited to share how we're going to make it easy for you to partner with Cigna plus Oscar. Next slide. Easy rules and tools. Next. Okay, perfect. So on the screen here, we have the great state of California, 39 million people that we would love to, cover. But for now, lucky us, we're going to start in the Bay Area. So it's going to be San Francisco, Alameda, Contra Costa, San Mateo, and Santa Clara. The companies need to be headquartered in one of these 5 rating regions. And then 70% of the enrolling employees must live in these 5 rating areas. If there are The 30% can live outside of the counties, can live out of state. So it's going to be, that rule is going to be where they live, and it's going to be these 5 rating regions, and anyone outside of that would be the 30%, and they must elect the Open Access Plus network. Next slide. And so when we're taking a look at the standard underwriting guidelines, we really wanted to make this easy. So this is not a confusing promo. This is something that is standard that we have built in here. We have, we talked about the out of area. So again, no more than 30%. They must elect the Open Access Plus network. We're not going to require DE9C for more than 6 employees. We also are including in the mix of valid waivers, Medicare, Medi-Cal, and of course IFP, so really easy for you as well. And then this is awesome when we are pairing alongside another carrier. We will pair alongside any carrier. So if that carrier is up for it, we'll go for it. And I know that Kaiser's the most common that we pair alongside with. And so the rule around that is that after all of the valid waivers, 60% of the group must enroll in one of the carriers, and Cigna plus Oscar will take a minimum of 3. When it comes to plan types, you can choose any 3. There's no metal tier alignment needed, just any 3, and you can mix and match the networks as well. So if you want 1 bronze local plus, 1 platinum OAP, and 1 gold OAP plan, you're free to do it. Just any 3 plans, just remember that. So very easy, standard, flexible. We just wanted to make this easy for you. And bookmark this page, hioscar.com/brokers/Cigna. Oh, next slide. This is where all the plans and rate tables and all that exciting benefit information and collateral that will start populating as we get regulatory approval. This is also where you need to search the in-network doctors and prescription drug formularies. There might be a few nuances, so please make sure to be going to our website to get the accurate information to present to your groups. Next slide. And getting appointed is easy. You can do it at that website that I just listed, the hioscar.com/brokers/Cigna. And you just need to link up the 2 appointments. So you do need to be appointed with Cigna, and you do need to be appointed and have an account with Oscar, and then you just simply link them together. There are instructions if you aren't already appointed with either one of the carriers on how to do that. So very simple. It does take about 10 business days to populate, so just keep an eye out. You'll get an announcement when you're approved. Next slide. And quoting and enrolling, we also make this easy. We're a digital company. We want to be quick. We want to make this easy for you. So we have an average approval time of about 24 hours. Of course, please look to your great general agent, Claremont, to help you with this. They're a great resource for getting quotes and getting this information over to us so we can keep that expectation of that 24-hour approval time. Also, the members are going to be receiving digital ID cards. And what's great about that is as soon as they're approved, they're going to have access to that information. So there's no waiting to pick up their prescription drugs. There's no waiting to go see the doctor until they receive their card. It's very easy. They're going to have access to that. And we are compatible with ease. I know that's a really big component as well. Next slide. Perfect. And so, of course, look to your GA rep, myself and Thomas. We want to be your first points of contact. We do have a broker support team that does sit in Tempe, Arizona with the rest of our team. And it is going to be 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So jot this information down and they're there to support you as well. So multiple areas to help you through this 4th quarter because I know it can be busy. So some quoting tips. If you are using Health Connect, for example, do take a look for Cigna plus Oscar. We do have Oscar for Business in Southern California, so please make sure that you are selecting Cigna plus Oscar when you're running your quotes. Remember to include EPO plans because we are not offering an HMO or a PPO. We are offering an EPO, so you want to make sure that populates. Both networks are full. There's nothing narrow about them. Just the simple thing to remember is Local Plus does not have Palo Alto Medical Foundation. You do need to obtain the employees' zip codes because it's based on where they live. And just a reminder, employees living outside of the service area must elect the Open Access Plus and check out our high deductible bronze plans. They're going to be really competitive. And then just to speak really quickly here, Santa Clara is going to be our best rated area and followed up by San Francisco County as well. Next slide. So we are truly invested in your success. We are not going to reduce your premiums at renewal. It's standard across the board, 5% for new and renewing business. And we have a really great promotion as well. Next slide. And so we are giving your first case of 4 or more employees, you will earn $500, and that's through effectuation dates of 1/1. And then for groups, for any additional groups of 4 employees of 4, so 4 employees of 4, so 4 groups of 4 employees, it's a tongue twister, you will earn another $4,000. And so in total, the bonus program, if you give us 5 groups of 4 more, you'll earn $4,500. So that's your vacation fund for 2021. And what we're looking at here is, just to recap what we've talked about, is you have the ease of access with that human digital support that includes that $0 telemedicine. You have great access with those really competitive and very accessible networks with Local Plus and Open Access Plus. And we really are dedicated to your growth and success with Cigna Plus Oscar. And Q4 is going to look different this year. A McKinsey study that we recently had shared with us that groups and small group are actually 4 times more likely to shop their benefits this year. So they really are looking for alternative, cost saving solutions. And we really want to be, making that shopping list. So please take, just a reminder, take a look at Cigna Plus Oscar. We're new, we're exciting. And I think that your organizations are going to really be excited that you brought them something new and different. So we are really committed to earning your trust in business. Thank you. Next slide. And here's Thomas and my contact information, as well as the link to get access to your appointment and to be checking for collateral as we get the regulatory approval. Thank you.
Nice job, Kaylin and Thomas. Just to kind of wrap it up, and Mark, I think it might be a good time to review some of the questions that we didn't answer. While you're looking that up, I'll just add a little commentary. You heard a theme that recognizes that the Bay Area is different. I'll editorialize a little bit myself. I think the Bay Area has always been different in that you have small businesses that compete against some of the largest global brands for talent. So if they're hiring an engineer, you're gonna have an engineer that could go work at Google or go work for some smaller company. And sometimes benefits is the decider. Benefits could be the reason why they go to company A or company B. Offering the same great network that large employers like Google offer, would help level the playing field. So in a market, throughout California, a lot of networks have gone super narrow. So we're really proud to offer something that's different and not just another HMO or PPO for that matter. So I think it's pretty timely. I'll also add that I think a lot of you brokers are small firms yourself and realize that you're going through a tough economy and things are different for you as well. So I want to recognize that. We think that this is a good solution for your clients and maybe your own agency too. We'd be honored to have your business too. So with that, we'll just say that we're grateful that business hasn't dropped off a cliff. I think there was a lot of speculation that loads and loads of small employers would dump coverage and go to the individual market. Thankfully, it hasn't really happened yet. But to what Kaylin's point, McKinsey and other surveys, and I think you guys know even better firsthand, the employers may say, well, yeah, we've been able to hold our ground and not reduce or cut benefits, but we are looking to save this year. So I think this is the answer. I think being able to show them, one, something they've not seen before, 2, something that doesn't require a downgrade, and 3, it doesn't eliminate choice. I don't want to have to lose providers in order to save money. Shouldn't have to go from platinum to gold, gold to silver, silver to bronze, just to keep my my rates level or flat. So another point to that McKinsey survey, most small businesses are looking at finding savings this year between 10 and 15% to hopefully fend off any staff reductions or furloughs or layoffs. So I think this is really, really timely. I couldn't be more excited personally to be back in the Bay Area market, but really timely given what's going on. So with that, Mark, is there any question that we didn't address? Anything we can answer now?
Yeah, there's at least a couple here. I think we answered several that had come through, but the first one, which is near and dear to everyone's heart, is when will the rates be out?
ASAP. You guys have been crazy patient about this because I appreciate the excitement. We are filed with Department of Insurance, and because this is the first filing, the first filings usually go a little slower. Whenever you have quarterly adjustments, whatever, every filing after will go smoothly and quickly, but this is the first time we're launching, so it could be a week, could be 2 more weeks. We'll keep you posted. But I will say this, how about this as maybe a better answer? We've done the rate analysis. We don't expect the filings to change. So legal disclaimer, rates and plans are pending regulatory approval, but we've seen some really big, like healthy double-digit savings across the Bay Area. And I'll put a big circle, especially around Santa Clara. I think there's lots of business opportunity there. It's a huge market with loads of small business, big addressable market. And that's probably between the 5 counties, Santa Clara is probably the one, and San Francisco, the 2 that markets that have the biggest expected savings. And I know Kaylin and Thomas have both said this on other webinars. If you are working on some 11-1s or 12-1s and trying to get those knocked out early, I highly recommend that you wait and hold a little bit more if you can. Because if I'm one of your small business clients, I might really say, wow, why didn't I see this as an option? We're going to be marketing heavily just to create brand awareness. So a lot of, I think, small business clients will start hearing about the Cigna plus Oscar name and availability, but those rates are going to be killer, especially in San Francisco and Santa Clara. And by the way, C plus O is the shorthand. We call it C plus O once in a while, a little shorter than saying Cigna plus Oscar, but making sure that they know that this is a joint venture between us. So if they're already considering or already have Cigna, because Cigna has a great level funded product, that continues. Please don't change. If you like that product, level funding, keep doing what you're doing. Continue to work with the Cigna sales team for those products. But for this, it's Kaylin and Thomas.
All right, and then I'm going to put on my broker hat and ask the follow-up question to the rate question, which is, as soon as they are released and out there, how soon could somebody use it to on a renewal or on a group? I know we're talking about 12-1s. Potentially, if it comes through sooner than that, could somebody with a 10-1 or 11-1 still be able to get something in? What's the turnaround time once they're live?
Yeah, and I think that was a slide that Kaylin might have just shown, but maybe we went through quickly. We are approving groups really quickly. So when quoting goes live, we will also have live the ability to enroll groups. So I suppose you could say in theory, let's say in 2 weeks we we're approved to sell for 10-1. When that switches on, we can actually enroll groups for 10-1. So those 2 things go hand in hand. We're ready. It's just a question of getting the green light from Department of Insurance. And I think you all can respect that, Department of Insurance is one of 2 regulators in the state. We want to make sure we have their approval and don't go out too soon until we're formally approved.
Okay, great. Another question was, how will we handle if the employee lives in the service area, but they have dependents who do not?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that open access is going to be the Open Access Plus, OAP. Boy, our industry is just full of acronyms, aren't we? So it's an EPO with an OAP network. So if we have any employees or dependents who are OOA out of area, Open Access Plus would be the good solution for those. So any employees who live within the 5 counties would have access to either Local Plus or Open Access Plus. But if you have eligible dependents that want to enroll on this, it would be Open Access Plus. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah. How about for brokers that are outside the service area with clients in the service area? Who's their contact person for you guys?
This is a great opportunity to make it super clear. Whatever works for you. Just geographically, since Thomas lives in San Francisco, it made sense for him to support brokers in San Francisco and the East Bay because he's close to those, closer to those brokers. Kaylin is in Santa Cruz, so being able to support brokers in San Mateo and Santa Clara made sense. But we're all working virtually, right? So I don't know that it really matters. And one other point, the way Oscar is structured, a member's a member. We want to make sure we're supporting brokers however they need to work. So let's say Kaylin is on a vacation day and Thomas is available, we can do that. Doesn't matter, either or. Either of them can support each other, and we all have a pot, if you will, of all the business goes into one pot. And I'll use this moment to also answer, we will be and are, I hope, already the most GA friendly carrier in the small group market. There's oftentimes where carriers sometimes seem to be in competition with their GAs. Well, they'll send out a rep if you're selling directly, but if you're working with a GA, they won't, or all kinds of weird, funky stuff like that. I've always hated that. So you will find us to be absolutely friction-free when it comes to working with our GA partners. You know, Claremont, you guys are awesome. Been working with you guys for years when I was over at Blue Shield, and you guys are amazing partners to work with. Last thing I want to do is create any barriers that make it difficult for your brokers to work with us. So we don't pay any different whether the business comes direct or through a GA. When we have bonuses, those bonuses will always apply when we work with a GA. And if you want to work with Kaylin or Thomas, whatever's convenient, you can do that too. But they have territories assigned based on where they're closer to.
And I would submit your come through your Claremont team for any of that, and we can also direct it to the C+O folks. So don't worry about how you have to find them. Just come through us, and we will navigate that for you.
There you go.
To get to the right place, simplify that part for everybody.
Right.
Can you are you guys competing against Cigna business? Can you guys compete against Cigna that's already with Cigna and take Cigna business into C+O?
I would say it differently. So if a client is already with Cigna and on their own decides that they would rather be fully insured, we'd be happy to continue and to have that business. But we're not proactively looking to replace business that's already with Cigna. But if the broker determines that this group might be better off fully insured and wants to make that change, of course we can. Remember, small group rules. Guarantee issue, we don't even have the ability to refuse that business, but it's not like we're targeting those groups and going after and switching them. If they want to stay level funding, yeah.
A good call out here is just formerly when I was with Cigna selling level funded small group and large group, there's a lot of nuances with the self-funded product and partially self-funded product between graded funded and level funding. So, this is a great product to, although be it a different sales team, you're still able to utilize that same great, strong Cigna network with a guaranteed issue product like the Cigna Plus Oscar. So maybe if it's a group that is a little bit smaller and they're less risk adverse, then maybe this is a great opportunity to bring them into that very accessible network, a little bit more predictability in their premiums, a little bit more safety nets. And then as they grow into that larger size, maybe towards large group and in a large group, it might be a great opportunity to then connect with your Cigna representative and enroll them into a level funded group where they might be able to be a little bit more flexible on their funding metrics, and their risk portfolio. So I think it's a great ability to kind of carry the two products together. But as Michael's point, these are two separate sales teams, so we want to continue to align as such. But this is a great opportunity to really get the best of both.
And also along kind of similarly, we're not, the C+O is not connected to the Oscar product that's separate from this in Southern California, correct?
Right. Yeah, and this is, you've never heard us use the word pilot for what it's worth. So we've already got expansion plans that will hopefully get us through more parts of the state. So as you see the Cigna plus Oscar partnership grow, expect to see more of Cigna plus Oscar and probably less so the Oscar on its own. And I'll explain, maybe a little bit backstory that helps folks understand why. We've been in the small group market for about 5 years, a little over 2 years here in California. And it's been going well, but it's been going slow. So as Thomas said, I think at the beginning, we're bringing two great networks from Cigna that fixes immediately a challenge that we had is we couldn't grow our network fast enough. So that's why this partnership makes great sense. So expect us to continue to grow that and expand it in more markets.
All right, I have one more, unless somebody else chimes in with one more. I had one more related to the 60% number, and just clarifying again, if that's all employees or C+O enrollees, maybe just go over the 60% rule with us one more time.
Yeah, I think the question's related to when we are paired with another carrier. It's most often Kaiser, but not limited, at least by our rules. We just need 60% after all the valid waivers are removed. So if I have individual coverage, that's a valid waiver. If I'm covered by my spouse, that's a valid waiver. If I have Medicare, Medi-Cal, TRICARE, something else like that, those are valid waivers. So after you eliminate all the valid waivers, we need 60% of the group to be covered by us and the other carrier. We need a minimum of 3 with Oscar. And I don't know if you caught it, because I think Kaylin was highlighting this point. I think it was Kaylin. This is not a promo. This is our standard underwriting rule. And frankly, I feel sorry for brokers and GAs for that matter that have to keep track of multiple carrier promos. We're running this promo for Q4, but it ends in Q1, and we're extending this promo and it only applies to these groups. I don't know how you do that. So as Kaylin said, we make this part of our standard rules. Keep it super simple.
All right, great. Okay, I think we got to every question. So I think unless something else pops through here, just want to shout out thanks again to everybody for joining us today to listen to this new entrance into the marketplace. I think it's going to be very interesting and a great topic to talk about with a lot of clients. It's just unique enough right now for people to, I think, latch on and at least learn what it's all about and keep conversations evolving, particularly with the way we are all dealing with things virtually. This has a really neat option from that standpoint. So I really like that. There's going to be more obviously coming out as they get approval and things start to pop, and we get even more conversations. If anybody wants to set up time outside of this, we have been doing meetings outside of webinars. So if somebody wants a little deeper dive or to get into more specifics, get in touch with us at Claremont, and we can set up a call with these guys to do a little bit deeper dive. But just again, thanks to everybody. Stay safe out there, stay healthy, and C+O team, thank you guys again for your time, and everyone have a great week.
Looking forward to doing these live one day soon, but thank you. Appreciate you giving us the platform.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Mark.